Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with women's basketball, joined by head coach Kurt Westendorp. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, your team off to a great start, kind of like the men's team as well, playing some good basketball here over the course of the season as we get ready for the month of February.
Yeah, it's nice. I feel like we're starting to hit our stride a little bit. Kind of had a little bit of a lull coming off of the Christmas break. You know, we weren't really playing our better basketball. But this past week, you know, we were unfortunate that we dropped 2 out of the 3 games. But, you know, all 3 games were coming down to the last minute. But I felt like for the course of most of the games, for 35, 36 minutes, you know, we're starting to get our stride a little bit back.
Obviously, 3 games on the road, as you mentioned this past week. Close game against Northwood on Monday night, then at Saginaw and Wayne State this weekend. Kind of nice, though, to have kind of a full lineup of players here over the course of the past couple weeks.
It's been nice not having to mix and match lineups as much, trying to plug certain holes and play people out of position. So this week we were kind of back to where we were, back to full strength. So we're kind of getting, like I said, it's hard to get that rhythm back when you're constantly out of your position. So it's nice now to have everybody back in there, you know, playing 3 really quality opponents. You know, Northwood, I think, has won 7 in a row in league now. Saginaw is sitting near the top of the league. Those are tough places to play. You know, and Wayne State's also near the top of the league. So we knew going into this week we were going to have to be really on top of our game to get all 3. And, you know, as it was, you know, all 3 games came down to the wire.
As we go to the highlights, we'll start first with Thursday's game at Saginaw. After the contest at Northwood, didn't have a whole lot of preparation time for a normal Thursday game.
No, you had a one-day prep, which was kind of similar to when we played them the first time. The first time we played them on Saturday after having played Wayne State on a Thursday. So the one-day prep was about what you get some of the time. So I know that Saginaw was able to have a couple more days to prepare for us. But really, this game is going to come down to the wire no matter how it shook out. You know, they're a quality team, we're a quality team. You know, they did a nice job throughout the game of executing their stuff, moving the ball. I felt like defensively, we did a decent job throughout most of the game until kind of we got to that fourth quarter and our legs got a little bit tired under us. But it was really just a great basketball game back and forth. You know, we had a great crowd of Bulldog supporters there. Saginaw had a good crowd. You know, really, the game went back and forth, lots of lead changes, lots of ties. You know, it was really just a classic GLIAC matchup.
Obviously led in this game here by Adrian Anderson, who had 19 points. And she's a player that had a big offensive game for you. We'll see her have a big defensive game on Saturday as well here in the highlights.
Yeah, Adrian did a really nice job against Saginaw. We moved the ball fairly well. We got her in some positions out of some timeouts to take advantage of a couple matchups. You know, she was being guarded by Caitlin Zaricki, who's also a very good defender. But Adrian definitely got the better of that matchup in this game. Like you said, she went for 18 or 19 and held Zaricki, who's the league's leading scorer, I believe, to like 7 or 9 points. You know, well under her average. So it was a great game for her. And then on Saturday, which we'll get to, she had another classic matchup with Kate Sherwood, and they both kind of neutralized each other a little bit because they're both such good defenders. But really nice job in this game up to about this point right here when we moved the ball great, had a lot of good looks. You know, we lead the league in 3-point shooting for makes and attempts and did a nice job. We thought we were going to have just enough to get it done, but just some defensive lapses at the end of the game where we did not quite play together as a team, you know, kind of led to them getting a run over those last 5 minutes where we just did not get the job done.
Obviously, when you're on the road and you suffer a tough loss like that, how hard is it to get ready to go again the next time out and put that one kind of behind you?
You know, every time you drop a game like that where it comes down to the wire, it hurts. You know, I'm not going to lie and say that, no, we just flip the page right after you get back to the locker room. No, you got to take that overnight. You know, we watched a little bit of film of that game that morning right before we got on the bus. But as soon as we got on the bus to go to Detroit, you know, that's when we turned the page. You know, we knew that we're not far away. It's not like there's drastic changes that need to be made from Monday's game or Thursday's game to Saturday's game. We just knew that we had to tighten up our play. We had to tighten up our focus for all 40 minutes. So I really felt great going into the Wayne State game. We had a good practice down there that evening. You know, I feel like mentally, you know, we showed a lot of toughness then during this game.
Obviously playing in the new Wayne State Fieldhouse, and your team had an opportunity to play a couple early season games here to start the year.
Yeah, I really feel like that helped us out because it's a different place to play. You know, it's a different shooting background. At one end, you got a big, huge window. The other end, you got a gigantic video board, you know, that's kind of in your line of sight as you're shooting the ball. So playing those 2 games there early, I definitely think helped us get a little bit more comfortable in the gym. You know, it's another game where I feel like we shot the ball decently. You know, I feel like we played fairly well. We shared the basketball super well. There, Chloe to Zoe getting a little high-low action. You know, we did a nice job defensively to execute our game plan for the most part. You know, Grace George had a heck of a basketball game. She was really tough to guard. But, you know, in the end, we did just enough, you know, for all 40 minutes, and we really showed our toughness.
Obviously, Wayne State, one of those teams, they've got some good guard play, and they've also got some size inside.
Yeah, the size inside is really what we were most concerned about. We did a decent job of getting around in front, forcing them into a lot of turnovers when they tried to force the ball down inside. You know, we just don't have the height to cover like a Sam Cherney, who's a 6'3", who does a really good job of scoring back to the basket. You know, even Grace George is a really good back to the basket player. You know, she definitely took it to us, but for the most part, we did a nice job. Here you see them get a couple looks where we do get caught behind, but you know, we did a pretty good job then on the perimeter. Having Adrian on Sherwood, she scored 25 against us the first game, and then this game I think we held her to 7 points. You know, that was definitely a big key for us, that they, even while Grace George was going off, which you see here almost every other shot's her knocking one down, we did a nice job on the rest of them.
Obviously, she got her points, but on your end, Zoe Anderson with a big game for you with 20 points and really kind of spread the ball around offensively.
We ran our offense much better in this game. I felt like we were much more crisp. We kind of took what the defense gave us. We were ready when the ball came to us. You know, every shot you see Zoe hitting, she's ready to shoot it. She's not second-guessing herself. She's ready to go when that ball gets in her hands. She had a much quicker release in this game. You know, for her to go for, I think it was a career-high 20 points, you know, it's big time for a senior to step up on the road, you know, in those games where we needed it.
Obviously, after a couple tough games on the road, you get a big road win here to get ready to come back home, and nice to come in with some confidence after that victory.
Oh, for sure. Being on the road for 3 games in 1 week, that's a lot of time spent on the bus. So it'll be great for us to get back, in our home court, seeing Davenport again, a team that played really well against us the first time. That's where all our focus is right now on the preparation for them. And then on Friday, we get a 1-day prep for GV, and we all know what kind of a big game that is for us. So it'll be exciting to get back on our home court and our home turf, where we can hopefully keep the ball moving really well the way that we did against Wayne, and keep some of that momentum carrying over to where we can be that tougher team for both the games this week.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats on the win, and best of luck Thursday night against Davenport, Saturday against Grand Valley State.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. A reminder, you can follow all the action, get all the schedules online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.